All right, so I'm watching this video, just waiting for a family event, and I'm watching this video where these two sides are arguing about like transitioning from one gender to another. It's like conservative people versus trans people or something like that. And I'm just doing a lot of thinking as I'm listening to these people. And one specifically was a man who was a husband and a father, and he worked as like a mechanic or something, and he transitioned to the opposite gender, and all of a sudden got a ton of support from his family and his friends, and people saying like, oh man, wow, I didn't know you were going through this. It must be so hard living two lives, feeling like you're somebody else. Once he transitioned, he got all this support, and everybody started feeling sorry for him and giving him attention. And I started to think, for him and for everybody else, getting that validation from other people, I'm not trying to invalidate their story, but can you see how maybe like doing this whole thing, like transitioning, can all of a sudden give you the validation from other people that you crave? I remember when I was in college, I was sitting there, and I was pretty shy and quiet, but I also consider myself like no bullshit. I'm very observant of my surroundings, and I noticed that when an LGBTQ member walked in to talk to us about cultural diversity in college, like they got in front of the class, they came in for like a special day of class, talked to the class, everybody was overly nice. Everybody was walking on eggshells because we knew that that person would be offended easily. So everybody was like, yeah, like they were very careful about the questions they were asking. I didn't say anything, I didn't ask any questions, but I remember sitting there like this, observing. And I think those types of people get very nervous when people just observe them, because they're afraid that they're going to see something. They're afraid that we're going to see something about them. They're afraid that we're going to like call them out on something, because they care a lot about what other people think. And I remember in that class specifically, on another day, it was a cultural diversity class. It was part of my major. It was weird. I graduated with an athletic training degree, but we had a cultural diversity class, I guess because medical students, it was a 4-year medical degree. I guess they train them in that. So I noticed at another point in class, there was a girl in my class who brought up an issue with somebody like kneeling during the national anthem or something, or like standing maybe. I don't know, doing something during the national anthem that was against the norm. And they're making a statement, but she brought up like, well, this is America. I mean, shouldn't you kind of respect your country? And it caused a little bit of backlash with like the teacher against the student. She couldn't say what she actually wanted to say. It wasn't an open discussion. Just like when this LGBTQ member came into the classroom, it wasn't really an open discussion. We had to be very respectful, which is, I mean, yeah, you should be respectful, but shouldn't you also be able to like ask questions and not walk on eggshells with people? So anyway, these people, I think, care very much about what other people think. And I don't know if I've lost you. If you're still watching, if you don't get triggered by this, what I'm saying, cool. Congratulations. You're here, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you listening, because what I'm really getting at in this video is, why do we live in such a society where people care so much about what other people think? Now, yesterday I was in the elevator at this place with my family, and there were people. It's like Pride Month or whatever. We're in the city, and there were these people. Our elevator stopped at a certain floor, and there were so many of them. They were like, "Oh, we're not going to get in the elevator. Just go." And then we went to the main floor. But when that elevator opened, it was a group of people wearing very little clothing, dressed in black, dressed in all this kinky shit, and they had like very graphic words on their shirt about like touching private parts and stuff. And my dad like noticed, and I was like, yeah, that's odd, isn't it? And it got me thinking, like, why do you have to do that? Why do you have to wear a shirt that talks about like touching private parts? It's almost like like a lot of these people, the LGBTQ community started as like being free, not being judged for being a different sexuality anymore. But it's gotten to the point where they have to be provocative on purpose in public to get a reaction out of people because they were so afraid of people, of certain reactions from people before, but everything's still centered around everybody's reaction. Why, like, why do you need to do that? Why do you need to do these drastic things? So, bringing it back to caring what people think. When I was a little bit younger, I cared what people thought of me. And the way I got over that was I studied like dating advice online. Like, how do you get better with women? Well, one way to get really good with women is to stop seeking their validation and to just be yourself. Easier said than done. But how you do that is you stop seeking validation from other people and you start seeking it from yourself or God. You know, something bigger than you, something bigger than just, or something bigger than, bigger than the people around you that you don't really care about to begin with. Why do you care about, why are you letting other people define you, you know? And it's like, why does this community that I'm talking about need other people to bend to their ways? Why do they still claim to be oppressed despite the fact that they have an entire month dedicated to them where they can walk around on the streets with like completely offensive stuff on their shirt and still claim to be the ones that are offended and like do whatever they want? It's crazy. Why can't you mind your own business? So I want to make this more of a self-development video. It's not supposed to be a rant about that stuff. The reason I'm bringing that stuff up about is just to get you to think, why do certain people, look, I don't care if you're gay, straight, whatever your sexuality is, I don't care. But if you're actively doing things in order to provoke other people or to get other people to bend to your ways, that's where it becomes a problem. That's narcissism. When you need everybody else to believe and do what you say, and you can't just live your life and mind your own business and respect everybody around you and accept how society is, that's when it becomes a problem. So I want to share something I learned that I sort of lost touch with the lesson. I didn't forget the lesson, but I lost touch with it and I haven't talked about it in a while. And I call this channel T. Roy Self-Help Journey. It's about not caring what other people think and gaining validation from yourself. So I'm sitting here, and before I have this family event, before I do it, I think I am going to meditate a little bit on this. And that's getting validation from myself. It's such an important life lesson. It's such an important life thing to do, to get validation from yourself. Like, what does that even mean? Like, when you notice yourself looking around and, you know, being like, oh, what are people thinking of me? This is something that really helped me be successful in meeting new people and dating and stuff and getting dates with women when I was a little bit younger, was like starting to veer more towards like getting validation from myself and caring what I thought of myself, perhaps the people that are closest to me, like what they think about me, listening to them. But really, it all comes back to you and what you think of yourself. So if you can just sit in a room by yourself with no stimulation, maybe just notice the thoughts of like worrying about what other people are thinking or worrying about like that urge. If you put your phone away on the other side of the room, you might get an urge to go seek information from other people from your phone. Isn't that weird? Like, if you put your phone down and you just sit in a room alone, like you sit in a quiet room by yourself, you might get an urge to go check your phone and to look stuff up online. Like me, if you're watching this video, or anybody else online, people more popular than me, you'll look to them to tell you what to think of yourself, what to do in life, how to live your life, rather than just yourself. Isn't that weird? Isn't that a little? So if you can start noticing that, you become like self-aware of what your thoughts are actually doing. That's why I think meditation is so important. I think I talked about in the last video I posted on this channel, why meditation is so important. When you just sit with yourself, you just start to notice, you become aware. So I think I'm going to do that for about 10 minutes, do some conscious breathing, just notice my thoughts. I haven't really done that in a while and like timed myself and just done it intentionally. But just think about that concept. What does that mean to you? Just getting validation from yourself. Comment, let me know. What does that mean to you? Thanks for watching.